Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Namrazul from BS Chemistry and my ID is 13. The topic of my presentation is recovery and production of sodium chloride. Salt is a common name for the substance sodium chloride, which occurs in the form of transparent cubic crystals. Although salt is most familiar as a food supplement, less than 5% of salt produced in the United States is used for that purpose, and about 70% is used in the chemical industry, mostly as a source of chlorine. The earliest humans obtained their salt from the natural salt concentrations called lakes and from meat. Those people who lived near the ocean may have also have obtained it by chewing seaweed or from the natural evaporation of some pools of seawater. Earliest method of salt production. The earliest method of salt production was the evaporation of seawater by the heat of sun. This method was particularly suited to hot, arid regions near the ocean or nearly salty lakes and is still used in those areas. Solar evaporation was soon followed by the quarrying of exposed masses of rock salt, which quickly developed into the mining of underground deposits of salt. In areas where the climate did not allow solar evaporation, salt water is poured on burning wood or heating rocks to boil it, and the salt left behind was scraped off. This is a method of production of salt from evaporation. Raw materials. Salt is obtained from two sources, rock salt and brine. Rock salt is simply crystallized salt. It is the result of evaporation of ancient oceans millions of years ago. Large deposits of rock salts are found in the United States, Canada, Germany, Eastern Europe, and China. And brine is water containing a high concentration of salt. The most obvious source of brine is the ocean, but it cannot be obtained from salty lakes and underground pools of salt water. Manufacturing process. First one is processing rock salt. When a site is selected for mining, shafts are sunk into the center of salt deposit. Then a machine that looks like a gigantic chainsaw is used to cut a slot about 6 inches high, about 66 feet wide, and about 10 feet deep into the salt at floor level. And this process is known as undercutting. A series of holes are drilled into the undercut salt with an electric drill containing a tungsten carbide bit. These holes are filled with an explosive such as dynamite or ammonium nitrate. Then electric blasting caps connected to long wires are attached and the explosive is detonated from a safe distance. Cutting and blasting are repeated in a pattern that leaves pillars of salt standing to support the roof of mining area. This is known as the room and pillar method and is also used in coal mines. Chunks of blasted rock salt are transported to an underground crushing area. Here they are passed over a grating known as grizzly, which collects pieces smaller than about 9 inches. Larger pieces are crushed into a rotating cylinder between metal jaws with spiked teeth. The salt is then transported outside the mine to a secondary crushing area where a smaller grizzly and smaller crusher reduce the particle size to about 3.2 inches. At this point, foreign matter is removed from the salt and a process is known as picking. Metal is removed by magnets and other material by hand. Rocky material may also be removed in a Bradford beaker, a rotating metal drum with small holes in the bottom. Salt is dumped into the drum, breaks when it hits the bottom, and passes through the holes. Rocky matter is generally harder than salt, so it does not break and does not go through. The picked salt then goes to a tertiary crushing area where an even smaller grizzly and crusher produce particles about 1 inch in size. If smaller particles are needed, the salt is passed through a grinder consisting of two metal cylinders rolling against each other. If purer salt is needed, rock salt is dissolved in water to form brine for further processing. Otherwise, the crushed or ground salt is passed through screens to sorted by size, poured into bags and shipped to the customer, consumer. This is the process of rock salt. Then processing brine. The simplest method of evaporating brine is solar evaporation, but it can only be used in hot, dry, sunny places. The brine is collected into shallow ponds and allowed to evaporate in the sun. Insoluble impurities such as sand and clay and slightly soluble impurities such as calcium carbonate settle to the bottom as evaporation begins. The brine is pumped or moved by gravity flow to another pond where calcium sulfate settle out as evaporation continues. Then the remaining brine is removed to yet another pond where the salt settles out as evaporation proceeds. The brine is moved one more time before evaporation is complete to prevent highly soluble impurities such as magnesium chloride, magnesium sulfate, potassium chloride, and magnesium bromide from settling out with the salt. These substances may be collected separately for commercial use. Then the salt is scooped up by machines running on temporary rail tracks laid on the top of layer of salt. It is then washed with highly concentrated salt water. This water contains so much salt that it cannot hold anymore, so the salt is washed free of any trace impurities without dissolving. The washed salt is removed from the salt water, rinsed with a small amount of fresh water, and piled into huge stacks to drain for 2 or 3 months. At this point, the salt is about 99.4% pure and can be used for many industrial purposes. If purer salt is needed, it is re-washed in salt water and fresh water, allowed to drain for 1 or 2 days, then dried in a hot air oven at about 365 Fahrenheit or 185 degrees Celsius. The salt is about 99.8% pure and can be used for food processing. This is the process of brine. Thank you so much. That's all from my side.